Jack Easum with TrumpRepublican.News, TrumpRepublican.News. Go to our website, that's www.TrumpRepublican.News. Well, the primaries and special elections on August 7th are concluded for almost all of them, and it looks like Republicans won in 8 out of 9 of the congressional districts in the Midwest. And Rasmussen had come up with a poll about a week and a half ago, where they took in all kinds of information and polling questions regarding how the vote for Congress was going to go, the so-called blue wave. Well, in that poll, which is about a week old, Democrats led over Republicans on the poll. The latest telephone and online survey finds 46% of likely U.S. voters would choose the Democratic candidate if elections for Congress were held that day. 40% would opt for the Republican, 4% prefer some other candidate, and 10% are undecided. And this is a little bit better for the Democrats based on a poll that was done in May. But the only polls that really matter are the voting polls. And yesterday, the Republicans won big time, pretty much crushing the so-called blue wave. I think the Democrats are drowning in it right now. I wanted to take a look with you at a very special election that was happening in Ohio, the 12th Congressional District. And it had a Republican, Troy Balderson, against a Democrat, Danny O'Connor. And if you look at the Democrat, Danny O'Connor, his contributions came from the American Federation of State and County Municipal Employees, $15,000, Ameripac, $10,000, United Food and Commercial Workers Union, $10,000, Operators Union, $8,300, and the list goes on. Sheet Metal Workers Union, a dentistry company for $5,400. Ohio State University gave him $4,890. United Mine Workers of America gave $5,000. Service International, Employees International gave $5,000. So the American Federation of Teachers also gave $5,000. So if you take a look, basically you're finding a lot of union donations that came into Danny O'Connor. And I want to make a point on this right now. I saw numbers where he had 13% of his contributions come in from the congressional district. Only 13%. The other 85% plus was outside the district. Now, Troy Balderson, who's a Republican who actually won last night, he's been receiving money, but maybe one union gave some money to him. The rest are Victory PACs, Dwight Sugart Farms, Majority Committee PAC, Huntington Bank Shares gave him $12,500, Elder Care Advocate $10,800, another farm gave him $10,000, and it goes on, but no unions. And here's why I'm making a big deal out of the unions. You have to remember back about 2 years, about the same time in 2016. A janitor was cleaning a commercial plumbing warehouse, and he discovered printed, filled in ballots for the election voting for Hillary Clinton and all Democrats. Well, he looked through it, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger of how many were there, so he called the police. So the reports got into the newspaper that there were 10,000 printed ballots with Hillary already marked up and a bunch of Democrats marked up on it. And then it went up to 100,000. And then the local police said, we way underestimated it. It's about a million. At that point, the FBI got involved with it. And that's where the story got dropped from the news media. Completely dropped. But basically what they had discovered was somebody doing voter fraud. They printed up ballots exactly like the ballots that the state was going to be using for everyone to vote on, and pre-marked them for Hillary and all kinds of Democrats. Now, normally, you find something like that, you kind of look the other way. But because it was in a commercial plumbing warehouse, something tells me those are probably union workers that are a part of the plumbing union, right? So that's kind of an interesting little fact to keep in the back of your mind. And as I was listening to the reports coming in last night, I was, 10% of the vote, 20%, 50, 60, 90, 80. It slowed down when it got to 80% of the vote. And that's one of the signs when it slows down like that somebody's counting the numbers. They're trying to figure out how many more votes they can add. I've seen that in real life and in years past where there was voting fraud happening like that. And anyway, the numbers slowed down. Finally, Troy Bolderson went ahead by about 1,700 votes and kind of kept the lead for the rest of the night. The Secretary of State said that there are about 3,400 provisional ballots that have to be counted. That's people came in and there was something wrong on their voting records, and somebody had already voted for them or something like that. Another sign of voter fraud. And then, or just poor housekeeping by the state. And that there's about 5,000 absentee ballots that come in. President Trump declared Troy Bolderson the winner, as did all of the media, even though they said, hey, there's some absentee votes coming in. Typically that goes Republican, but not if you have Democratic groups filling in absentee ballots for dead people. Okay? So anyway, voter fraud alert, Troy Bolderson, voter fraud alert. Just go take a look at it, and it's going to be close enough where law in Ohio demands a recount, and I think that should be happening anyway just because of some of the circumstances that I observed. And we did predict that Bolderson would win that seat, and he did win it according to last night's vote. Let's see if they can maintain it for him, because the election was a lot closer than it should have been. And it's not because of a blue wave, it's because of something else. Well, anyway, that's one of the major things that has happened with the special election in Ohio on Congressional District 12. And they're filling out a seat for a former congressman who resigned and retired. And that battle will continue on between these same two candidates for November for the actual 2-year seat. So it sounds a bit confusing, but that's what it is. Well, anyway, that's it for now. And as President Trump likes to say, keep moving forward. Never, ever give up. God bless everybody.